Hey all, Kara Revelle Scrittenton, aka Miss Success. And I wanted to talk to you today about some of the challenges of running a home based business or just working from home. One of the things that tends to happen, like people ask me a lot of questions about, how is it working from home and all that. And of course, all the good things that you heard are great. You get to be your own boss. You can come and go as you please. There's nobody telling you when to take a break, when you can go to the bathroom, when you have to go to lunch. Some days I forget to eat lunch, so maybe it would be good if somebody would tell me to go. But those are, some of the good things about, running your own business. So running a home-based business, running an internet business is really great because, you don't have the inventory. You don't have to have a bunch of products and stuff lying around. If you're doing that, listen, that's great. That's not something that I want to do. But some of the challenges from working from home, they're common to all of us that work from home. I have friends that are, authors, and I also have friends that are music producers and songwriters and things like that, that they tend to have studios in their home. Friends of mine that are photographers also have, photography studios in their home. I have a friend that's a psychologist, and his practice is actually, in his home. So what happens is people tend not to take your business seriously because you're not going off to the office every day, and you're not commuting, and you're not doing 9 to 5, so they don't take your business seriously. So then it's up to you to make sure that you're making sure people respect your business, that, hey, listen, this is my job, this is my work, this is what I do for a living. And just like you wouldn't come to their job or go to their workplace and, disrupt them, you wouldn't call them, 30,000 times a day asking them to do this thing or that thing or the other thing for you. They have to understand that you have, things that you have to do because you are running a business as well. So it's your job to make sure that people understand and they respect your boundaries. My mom she used to run a bunch of nursing homes, not nursing homes, like group homes in North Carolina. And one of the things she used to always say was, being there because she was at the group home with the residents, so people would just have this drop-in kind of mentality, like, oh, well, Bobby's home. Well, she had to kind of put them in their place, like, this is my work. Like, this is, I live here, I run this, but this is my work. So, you just can't pop in, and you got to make those things clear to people. This is my first time doing internet marketing, and I love it, but I already had created a business before. And that business started at home. I started, in my bedroom, and then we moved, from the bedroom, we expanded to the basement. And once we expanded to the basement, we went in, we got so big we had to get office space. And we got a little small office at first, and then we got a bigger one. But all during that time, I still had my kids, and I had, 6 kids. I had 5 kids that were still at home, and I had twins that were babies at the time. So it was very important for me to make sure that people understood, hey, I'm working here. I may be at home, but I'm still working. And yes, I can get up at certain times during the day and go run some errands that I may have to do, but that doesn't mean you can just infringe upon my space. So those are things that the only person that can make those things clear to somebody is you. So what are some ways you can do that? Well, the best way to do it is just to be straight up with people. Just let them know, listen, I really would love to talk to you. And that's why I say when I'm working, and I did a video earlier, an earlier one about my Terrific 2, and that's your 2 hours every day that you dedicate, and it's strictly focused on your business. No interruptions are allowed at that time unless, it's a life-threatening emergency. How many of those do we have? But anyway, you got to be straight up with these people, and you have to say, whether it's your spouse, your kids, your friends, your mama, whoever, listen, during this time, I'm working and I can't be interrupted. It's just like, honey, I wouldn't come to your job and expect them to pull you off your job to do an errand for me. I wouldn't expect, for you to tell me to come to your job and have you stop everything because I need you to do X, Y, and Z for me. So you've got to guard your time religiously, because if you don't, what will happen is other people, just like when you're working in a regular office, if you don't have a policy where people can't just show up and distract you from your task, you're never going to get anything accomplished. And you're not going to achieve the success that you want, or it's going to take you an inordinate amount of time to accomplish things that really shouldn't take you that long to accomplish. So that's my number one thing I want to talk about today, and then you have to set the example. I see this all the time. Even when I started my business, I saw a lot of people that were starting their own businesses, but they didn't take it as seriously because they thought, well, I'm just working from home and I'm just in my bedroom. And, I got up every day and I got dressed. And most days I still do that because it puts me in the mind frame that now it's work time. I'm not really a person that stays in pajamas all day. But, you absolutely can do that if you're comfortable working like that and if you're productive. Now, if you're not productive, being in your PJs, because being in your PJs makes you feel like you want to lounge around, or I'll do it later or something like that, then I encourage you to do what I do most days, and that's get up, get washed, get dressed, do everything just like you were going to an outside office. And handle your business that way, because that's going to get your mind straight that, I am home, but I'm still running a business. And then have your tools set up. And I did another video about, the tools that I use to keep me mindful that I am running a business. Get yourself a file cabinet. Even if you can just get one of those little plasticky things you get at Walmart or whatever that you can hang a few file folders in. Get yourself something like that. Get yourself some business magazines, even if you can only subscribe to one, even if you only get something from online. Have those articles and things that inspire you. Get the people that inspire you. You want to pattern your business after, somebody else's success or somebody that you admire. Get some articles, get some pictures of those people, print them out, surround yourself with those things so that you're continually focused on the fact that I'm running a business and there's a reason that I'm doing this, and there is a method to your madness, and it's just not about a bunch of madness and no method. So the biggest thing that's going to help other people to take your business seriously is when you take your business seriously, and they just can't walk in and interrupt you at every, given moment. There's going to be times, sure, when you're going to have to stop what you're doing. The kids may come in unexpectedly, or, your husband or your wife or whoever. There are going to be times when you have to stop things. But that should be the exception and not the rule. You should not be, answering phone calls and chit-chatting with your girlfriends or buddies or whatever all day. You shouldn't be fielding calls from, people that are on your team all day long. That's the beautiful thing about working on the internet. You have the power to give them information via video, via PDF files, via any type of other training that you have out there, via email. So there's so many things that you should be using the power, leveraging the power of the internet, because this is an awesome, awesome tool. Man, if I had known about this 5 years ago, but I know about it now, so I'm just believing God, and I have faith that the timetables that I missed are going to be compressed, and, I'm just going to be able to achieve a lot of things that it looks like it took me 5 years, but it's really only going to take me 5 months. So I encourage you to have some thoughts like that. Keep those kind of thoughts in your mind too. The more you can be your own cheerleader, the more you can say, you know what, I got a bit Born to Midnight Oil tonight. Now, we want to get your business to the point where you don't have to work long hours, and you really can do this part-time. You really can do it a couple of hours a day, but there's going to be a time when you may want to transition that into, working a little harder for a little longer so you can achieve that success on the back end. My personal goal is to work as hard as I can work for the next, 6 months, 3 months, whatever it is, until I start seeing that level of success that I want. So my goal is by next year, which will be 2013, is to by February to be making between $20,000 and $30,000 a month, and I absolutely can do that, and that will be strictly from Empower Network, never mind the other things that I have going on as well. So that's what I wanted you to talk to you about today, is treat your business like a business, because that's what it is. Invest in yourself. Put some money into some paid training, some paid advertising. Get yourself some books. I have free books. I'm sure I'll send them to you. Connect with me. Get with me on the link below. Let's go to the top together. Bye.